Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug. Today I'm bringing you the heart of Italy right into your kitchen. We're making a classic Ragù alla Bolognese. This isn't just any sauce. It's a slow simmered, rich and comforting masterpiece that's been perfected. I'll show you step by step how to create this hearty dish. Now this is inspired by the traditional Ragù alla Bolognese, but I'm adding my own twist. We're keeping the rich, slow-simmered goodness, but I have a couple of tweaks up my sleeve that makes it uniquely mine. So if you like tradition with a little Doug spin, let's dive into it. Welcome back. So let's go through some of the ingredients we're going to need to make our delicious Ragù alla Bolognese. First of all, we're going to need 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm using the traditional trinity of onion, and this is 2 cups of finely chopped onion. I'm using celery, and I'm using the celery that's already washed and prepared. Just makes it easier, but I used this is 1 cup of that, and you want to chop it very small. And the same thing with the carrots. I actually used carrot sticks, and instead of getting a whole carrot and peeling it and doing all that and then chopping it up small, I used the carrot sticks because they're already small, and I just chopped it even more fine. So that is 1 cup of that. Very important, the trinity there. All right, I'm using 4 garlic toes that have been minced, chopped very fine. And we're gonna also use, now here it comes, super important. I'm using 1 pound of ground pork and 1 pound of ground beef. Very important. Now, what makes, I put this little spin on my Ragù alla Bolognese is the bacon. Now, traditionally, they use pancetta. And pancetta and, of course, bacon come from the belly of the pig. But the difference between using bacon and pancetta is not smoked, and bacon is smoked. So will that play a role in the flavor? Yes, but I'm only using 3 bacon strips that I have chopped finely and cooked up. So it's not that much. So it's just going to give a little slight undertone of smokiness, very slight. But traditionally they would use pancetta. Okay, and so pancetta is not smoked. So that is the meats. Now we're going to be using a 1/2 cup of milk. We're using 1 cup of beef stock, 1 cup of white wine. I'm using a Pinot Grigio. Then we're going to be using 1 cup of Italian style diced tomatoes in a can. And I'm using 1 cup of tomato sauce. We're using 1 cup of tomato sauce. And I'm using about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Then we're going to be using 3 bay leaves that we're going to add to it. And 1 good tablespoon of thyme leaves, fresh chopped thyme leaves. And then salt and pepper. And we're also going to use like a 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, maybe a 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder, salt and pepper, of course. And this is a little bit different. This is what makes, I put my little twist on it. Now, the pasta you serve with Ragù alla Bolognese is a very, it's like a thick pasta. It's thicker than fettuccine. But I decided to use campanelle. Now, campanelle are these bell-shaped pasta. And I feel like with it being a bell-shaped and all those little openings, and it's going to grab onto that sauce and it's going to make it so good. So it's going to hold on to that sauce just like the thick pasta would, but it's a little bit different. So I'm going to use the campanelle pasta today. All right, I think that's about it. Let's start cooking. Now, you don't want to start making your pasta yet because we're going to be cooking our sauce for around 2 hours. So you want to wait with your pasta. But tagliatelle pasta is a really good pasta to use for Ragù alla Bolognese because it's that thick pasta that I was talking about. But I'm going to use campanelle pasta because it's bell-shaped and I think it's gonna like hold that meat sauce really well. So I'm excited to use this today. Okay, so we're gonna begin, and in our Dutch oven, we are putting on a medium heat, medium flame, I should say, and we're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to heat that up and we're going to start to cook up our onion, carrot, and also our celery. So we're going to start to do that. Okay, so I'm going to start with my onions. Now this was 1 medium onion, yellow onion, but that came to close to 2 cups. Now we want to cook this up for around 7 minutes or so. We want it translucent, of course, and softened. So we're starting with our onions. We are eventually going to be adding our carrot and our celery. I'm going to cook this up first for a few minutes. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, maybe half a teaspoon of each. And now I'm going to add my carrots. And I'm going to add my celery. And we're going to cook this up for about 8 minutes total. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to add my 4 garlic toes that have been minced. And I'm going to let that cook in there for about a minute. Okay, next we're going to add our meat. So I'm adding the beef. And make sure your hands are always clean, like I always say, when you're cooking and baking. We're adding our beef first. Now we're going to add our pork, ground pork. And what I like to do is with, let me find one. With my wooden spoons, I like to just break them up like that. Toss it around. And the onions, and the celery, and the carrot. Just like that. Toss it around. Break up that meat. Give it a nice mix in there. Very good. Gonna cook that up for a couple of minutes. Next, we're adding the half cup of milk. And once again, we're going to let that cook for a few minutes. That milk with that meat. Very important that it gets really in there, saturated. Absorbed is really the word I'm looking for. I am putting up the flame to a medium now. It was on a medium low. Okay, so you can see that we're browning our beef and our pork. It looks really good. Now we've been doing this for around 5 minutes or so. So make sure you brown that, and it's looking really nice. All right, good. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our bacon that's already been cooked, and I'm just gonna add that in there. Give that a nice mix. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper, give that a nice stir. Next, I'm going to add approximately a teaspoon of onion powder, just to enhance those onions. And about a teaspoon of garlic powder to enhance the garlic. Very nice, very yummy, looking good. I'm adding my two tablespoons of tomato paste. Give that a nice mix in there. We're going to cook that for about a minute in there. Next, I'm adding my 1 cup of white wine. And we're going to let that cook until it reduces some. So this is on a low to medium flame. More on the medium, I should say. I'm going to let that cook for just a little bit, until that cooks down a bit, before we add our tomatoes. It smells so good with that wine. All right, so it has been cooking for a little bit, a few minutes, and we just want to make sure that it gets reduced maybe by half on the liquid. So we're getting there. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes and the beef stock and all those other yummy things. Okay, so it's been a little bit. I'm going to add my beef stock. That's 1 cup of beef stock. Give that a nice stir. Smells so good, guys. So good. Adding my 1 can of 8-ounce tomato sauce. And this is my 1 cup of the diced tomatoes, but there's just a little bit left in here, so I'm going to use the whole can. This was a 14-ounce can, so I'm just using the whole can. I don't want to waste. It'll be fine. Look at that. Look how awesome that looks. Oh my gosh. All right. Very nice. Now we're going to add the thyme. Remember, that was a little bit, approximately a tablespoon of thyme. Fresh thyme, by the way. And we want to add our 3 bay leaves. Okay, just stir that in. Very nice. I'm just going to add a little salt and a little bit more pepper. Give that a nice stir. And we're going to put this on a low flame, and we're going to let this cook for 2 hours, folks. This is a slow cook, but I'm telling you, when it's done, it's going to be so delicious. So low flame, lid on. 2 hours. Okay, it is done, and it smells so good. All right, now for our plate here, let's plate it. So I got the campanelle pasta in here, and I'm just gonna get my Ragù alla Bolognese. Look at that, so nice and thick. It's been cooking for 2 hours. Look at that. That looks so good. Wow. My mouth is watering. And we got some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. We're gonna add some cheese to the top, and everybody loves cheese. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful dish. I cannot wait to take a bite of that. Okay, let's give it a taste test. Cannot wait. Oh, is that yummy. One more bite. So good. So good. Thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living and happy cooking. Bye-bye.